me 1 second here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marvin Broadwater Sr. I serve as the Fatherhood Conversation Chairman for the state of Georgia, Omega Psi Phi. The Fatherhood Conversation is a partnership between the Georgia Department of Human Services and the state organization of Omega Psi Phi. We thank you. We welcome you to this event. I will bring to the floor our state representative, Mr. David Jones. Mr. Jones, you have the floor, sir.
Hey, thank you, Broadwater. My name is David Jones. I serve as the 19th Georgia State Representative, and I'm happy to be a part of the Fatherhood Conversation. We've done this program several years, and we know that the program works if you work it. So we're excited tonight to represent in Carterville, and we hope that the citizens of Carterville is able to take advantage of this program. With that, I turn it back over to you, Brother Broadwater, and thank you for recognizing me.
Thank you, State Representative Jones. And now I'll bring to the floor our facilitator, moderator for this evening, Mr. John Strickland. Mr. Strickland, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Broadwater. I appreciate that. Thank you to everyone that is a part of our conversation tonight. It is a joy to have you. We welcome the community of Carterville. We hope that everybody is able to hear and understand the things that we're about to say. We do kind of put a little caveat out there, and that is the fact that we are in the midst of technical work. We're not in person, so there may be 1 or 2 delays or 1 or 2 hiccups. As we experience those, we will try to work through them as best as possible. But again, thank you so much for joining with us tonight. We do want to answer some questions for you in reference to the Georgia Fatherhood Program. The Georgia Fatherhood Program is an outreach program within the Division of Child Support Services under the umbrella of the Department of Human Services. So we hope that all the information that we're able to provide you with, you will be able to learn something and be able to use it in your individual life as well as in the life of your family and your workings with and throughout the Division of Child Support Services. We've got a distinguished panel this afternoon that is ready, willing, and able to answer all the questions that you would like to ask us. So what I would like to do is take this moment, and we're going to have a conversation. We're not going to have a presentation. It's going to be a conversation where we're going to talk to each other as if we were sitting around the table or sitting in the living room asking some questions. So if you've got those questions, we want you to pose those questions to us in the way of the chat, the question and answer, and those questions will get to us, and our panelists will answer those questions accordingly. But let me take this time to allow the panel members to introduce themselves, and I'll start with Ms. Kathleen. Ms. Kathleen, if you would please introduce yourself, tell us about your position and how long you've been in that position, please, ma'am.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Kathleen Robles, and I'm the office manager of your local Cartersville office. I have been the office manager there about 5 years. I've got a terrific staff of veteran agents that do really, really good work. We've got a dynamic fatherhood agent that also does really good work. We're here to assist you. And I have been with the Division of Child Support Services for 15 years now.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. Ms. Tawana?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tawana Oliver.
Good.
I am the Fatherhood Supervisor for Metro 2, which covers the Augusta, Fulton. I'm assisting with the Athens and Gwinnett County. I've been with the agency for over 21 years. I've served as a Fatherhood Supervisor for 8 months now.
Okay, all right. Been with the agency for over 20 years. That's an obligation and a dedication. So we appreciate that. 15 and 20 years within the division. That's gathering a lot of wisdom and a lot of information and knowledge that can be shared with our community this afternoon. Miss Annabelle.
My name is Iniabel Santiago. I am one of the access and visitation coordinators. I have the Norwegian, and I have been working with the Division of Child Support Services for 17 years, and really happy to be here tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. So we'll appreciate lots of years are racking up, which means that our panel members have lots of wisdom that they can share with our listeners this afternoon. Miss Brandy.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Brandy Alexander, and I'm with the Goodwill Career Center at the Rome location. We also do have a career center in Carterville as well. I've been with the company for almost 8 years next month. And so we're basically a job resource center in the community.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Miss Brandy. We appreciate that so very, very much. So let's kind of dive into some of our questions that has been posed already from our audience. And one of those questions is, tell us a little bit more about the Georgia Fatherhood Program in reference to how someone can enroll into the Georgia Fatherhood Program. So, Ms. Tawana, we'll kind of yield that question to you to kind of get us jump started and move us along.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Strickland. The Georgia Fatherhood Program is an employment-based program which we offer short-term training, resume writing, coaching, and mentoring. You can enroll in the program either via the intranet. You can use the Georgia DCSS's portal. You can access your portal, but you have to have your RN. You can go to the local office and ask your agent to enroll you. You can send an email to the Georgia Fatherhood email address and ask the Fatherhood to reach out, and usually we'll send that email up to the local office. Or you could be in court and you could ask the agents to go ahead and enroll you, or it could be court ordered.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's good information about how to enroll. And I want to kind of piggyback on the phrase that you made, that the Georgia Fatherhood Program is an employment-based program. And whenever we think about it being an employment-based program, that means that we are moving people to involve themselves in a career that would stabilize themselves and their families for a lifetime. So understanding that the program is about work, let's talk about work for just a little bit. Miss Brandy, can you tell us just a little bit about how the Goodwill Center is working with the Georgia Fatherhood Program to assist individuals in their navigation to the working field and the career field?
Yes. So currently, we do partner with the Fatherhood Program. In the past, we've gone about this several different ways. At times, they may bring in the participants in the Fatherhood Program, get them registered with the Career Center. They may get a tour, may do job searches, check out our job board, attend job fairs that might be being held here recently. So that's one of the things that we've done. We're also, their office will refer people to us to try to get them work ready. So whether it be getting them a resume, doing mock interviews, doing an interview workshop, maybe they need a resume, maybe we offer a workshop for people with a background. So it's called resume support with a background. That's something that we do offer, that we've done really anything that the participants may need, as long as it relates to going to work, basically. We do also, in the past, have skills training programs that are offered, not necessarily at the ROM Career Center, but in Carterville. They do have logistics and logistics and forklift. So those, we're always trying to get people signed up for those programs. So that's another way that we help them getting jobs that will take them to a better quality of life. What else? I'm trying to think. Maybe they need an online application help. Maybe they've never used a computer, an email, that type of thing, or just some of the stuff that we do or have done.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So all of your activities with the non-custodial parent is to assist them with job placement, job navigation, et cetera, so that we can stabilize them, not just with a job, but with a career that they could work for a lifetime if so desired. Understanding the importance about the employment-based status of your agency and the Georgia Fatherhood Program, we do understand that in order for this program to work, we must have the involvement of the local office. So, Ms. Kathleen, we are so glad that you are with us tonight as a representative of the local office, as the office manager. Kind of tell us how your office works with the Georgia Fatherhood Program and seeks to engage customers that come to your office with our program, the Georgia Fatherhood Program.
Sure. So, of course, one of the major goals of the local office is to get the non-custodial parent paying consistently. And obviously, the primary reason that a non-custodial parent does not pay consistently is because they are not working. That's really, the fatherhood program is probably our first go-to when we discover that a non-custodial parent is unemployed. So we will meet with him and explain the program to him and offer him a referral to the program. Also, as a matter of routine, we send the non-custodial parent referral to the fatherhood program prior to any case being contempted, meaning when a case is, when we're not receiving consistent payments on a case, it's ripe for a contempt action, a contempt of court action. Before we file that contempt of court action, we offer each customer an opportunity to participate in our fatherhood program. We truly believe in the program. We've seen its successes, and we are very active participant in the local office of getting people involved in the fatherhood program.
Well, we appreciate that, Ms. Kathleen. Many of our customers, the non-custodial parents who enroll in the Georgia Fatherhood Program, talks regularly and often about the engagement of the local office. And we do honestly believe, as representatives of the program, that the success of anyone's participation is the buy-in at the local office. So we are very, very much appreciative of the way that you, as the office manager, lead your agents and your staff to be engaged with the Georgia Fatherhood Program, so that the customers who come to your location who is in need of service are offered this opportunity. That means a great deal to our stability within the Georgia Fatherhood Program. And let me just kind of ask yes/no question to Ms. Annabelle. Does an individual have to be working in order to receive the services of access and visitation?
No, they don't have to. The access and visitation is another outreach program under the Division of Child Support Services that assists both parents that they're in agreement to receive the vendor's the services that our vendors provide. And it's a voluntary program. And if the parent that is receiving the support decide not to participate, it is fine. The parent that is paying the support can receive other services like individual counseling.
Okay. And what I wanted to make sure that our customers heard you as a representative of Access and Visitation say that if you weren't working, that wasn't the stipulation. So if someone is still looking for a job, we're trying to place them a job, they still can receive the services of Access and Visitation. We wanted to go ahead and kind of open up that door in the forefront of our conversation. Now, another question that has come to us by our viewers is, do we provide soft skill trainings for the fathers? So I want to go to Ms. Tawana and allow her to answer the question about the soft skills training, the way that we offer individuals training through the technical college, the Goodwill, et cetera, et cetera. Ms. Tawana?
Thank you, John. Yes, we do offer the soft skill trainings. We utilize the resources, the technical schools, Goodwills, and vendors that we use within the community. It's going to vary depending on the area in which you reside. So the soft skills, they are available for all of the participants. And we try to make sure that, whatever the skill is you're asking for, we reach out to that vendor and try to go ahead and secure that, that training for you.
Okay. All right. And let's go at Brandy. Very, very briefly, kind of tell us about, you alluded to it a few minutes ago, when a fatherhood participant is enrolled in our program, we do refer them to the technical college for program trainings, and we do refer them to the Goodwill for program training. So tell us a little bit briefly about what your agency offers our participants in the way of soft skills training.
Okay, so as far as the Goodwill Career Center, as far as soft skills, we do any type of workshop, I guess you can imagine, on soft skills. So I'm trying to think of some that we've done in the past. Really, honestly, anything and everything. We don't only do it with you guys at the Fatherhood, but we go to the Housing Authority, Dress for Success, time management. What are some of the other ones? Here recent, we've been doing email etiquette, phone interview, just any type of like training for people, just all the different trainings that you may not have touched on in many, many years. We just try to, time management's probably a big one. Dress for Success. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I guess I should have brought a list of all of
No. That is sufficient. Everybody that is listening to us understands that you do provide, your agency does provide soft skills training, career skills training, et cetera. We'll get to some of that in just a little bit. Another viewer has posed the question, what is the percentage rate of success in gaining job placement as an individual enrolls in the Georgia Fatherhood Program? We'll let you talk about that in just a minute, Brandy, but we'll start off letting Ms. Tawana talk about it, and I'll make comments as needed as well. Ms. Tawana?
What is the success percentage for the participants? It's going to vary in each area. I will say that the success for the program has been a success because we have been around for over 25 years. to put a number on it, I can't put a number on it because we are still growing and the program is just, it works. So to give a number, I just couldn't give a specific number. I will say that it is very successful. I have been with the agency, like I said, for over 21 years, and the number and the percentage that I've seen, well, the number of participants that have come through the program, I would say it, for me to say a number, it's over maybe 20, and that's, I would say, in a month, depending on which area you're in.
And I do understand that it's going to depend on the area that you are located in. But another talking point there would be, it depends on the non-custodial parent, the participant.
Absolutely.
We can
Absolutely.
say matter of factly, without a shadow of a doubt, as clearly as I could speak, that we have more jobs than we do individuals who are willing to occupy those jobs. So our job percentage rate of success in the program, I would probably say it's up there to 75, 80% of success, depending on your location and depending on the participants' involvement in the program. We cannot guarantee an individual a job because the obtainment of that job is based on the individual. We've got the services available to connect them with the job. We've got the services available to assist them in making those connections and helping them with resumes, et cetera, et cetera. So the success rate of the Georgia Fatherhood program is great over the last 25 years of success, but there's a lot of variations that fall in there. So we don't want to mislead anybody, but at the same time, we want everybody to understand that if you want a job, enroll in the Georgia Fatherhood program, and I'd be willing to bet you 9 out of 10 times we could connect an individual with a suitable job that they could work as a career for as long as they wanted to.
Hey, John.
So, putting numbers. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. This is Kiska Dennis Gear, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Georgia Fatherhood Program Manager. And so I heard a numbers question. And for anyone who knows me, they know that I am a numbers person. And so I want to give you all a definitive number as it relates to the success rate of the Georgia Fatherhood Program over the last fiscal year. And so over the last fiscal year, the Georgia Fatherhood Program served 5,320 participants, and we were able to successfully complete 2,863 participants, giving us a success rate of 54%. So that means 54% of the individuals who enrolled in the Georgia Fatherhood Program successfully completed, were able to find employment and maintain that employment and receive all of the benefits of the program, as well as the aftercare services that are offered to them once they successfully complete. So again, that number is 54% of the individuals over the last fiscal year who enrolled in the program were successfully completed.
54%, that is above average and dead on target. So I appreciate you sharing that, Ms. Kiska. That means that those that are listening this afternoon need to understand that our program is successful and we can assist individuals in a variety of different ways in different areas. Someone else has asked, does the Goodwill partnership offer GED programs for our participants? And Brandy, we'll come back to you with that question.
Okay, so really, again, like everyone else has mentioned, it is going to kind of depend on which area you are in. There are 14 career centers now within the northwest east part of Georgia. There's 14 of us. So for here in Carterville, we do not at our actual location offer GED, but we can refer you, like in Rome, we have 2 agencies that we will refer you to. So the Northwest Georgia Housing Authority, their location, they have their GED program. So you will go through it and then take your test. It is a free program. And then also we will refer you to the the GNT Technical School, which has their adult GED program as well. And then at that point in time, if you are ready to take your test, we do have agencies that we can then refer you to as well that are able to either assist with that or actually pay for that as well.
Okay. And we do appreciate that. And one of the most important words I think that you pointed out was the word free. That means our participants who are struggling financially can come to your center and involve themselves in the GED program and not be burdened down with the expenditures of such a progress. So that's a very, very good thing. Another person has viewed the question, what are some ways to break through the fears of being arrested for not paying child support in order to help those who need the knowledge of information from this forum? So I'm going to yield that question to Ms. Kathleen and let Ms. Kathleen talk about the enforcement process that our division uses and the way that we use our outreach programs accordingly and how we work with the customer and not against the customer. Ms. Kathleen?
Sure. There's a misconception that I hear frequently that child support can just go out and arrest people. That's not the case at all. An individual has to be served with what's called a complaint for contempt. And there's ample opportunities of notices given to customers before it comes to the point where an arrest order is issued. As I said, they have to be served with the complaint. And we have to obtain a court order that orders the warrant. So before that occurs, the customer has many opportunities to contact their local office to address their barriers and their issues. We would invite you to walk into the office. We're open to the public for walk-ins Tuesdays through Thursday from 9 to 3. You can also request an appointment if those hours aren't convenient for you. We welcome you to come in. We're here to help you, assist you to become successful in paying your support and supporting your children.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. And the Division of Child Support Services is an agency that seeks to serve the non-custodial parent. We want to work with them and for them to make them as successful as we can possibly make them and enable them to take care of themselves as well as their family. And I honestly do believe that the Division of Child Support Services is doing a phenomenal job in that area. Another question that has come in is what qualifies a potential candidate for the fatherhood program? And what we're going to do is let Ms. Tawana begin that conversation. And then I'm going to ask Ms. Kiska if she would to kind of elaborate, even expound a little bit further on the qualifications from a manager's perspective. Okay, Ms. Tawana, you begin.
What qualifies a participant for the program? A participant can be unemployed or underemployed. That's usually what gets them in the door. They could have a driver's license suspension due to not making the full SOA amount, and that could qualify them for the program as well. Some participants want to come in the program because they've been in the program and they are not making enough because they know they're having another case, so that would qualify them as well.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Kiska, anything you want to elaborate kind of from the manager's point of view?
Thank you so much, John. And Tawana did such an exceptional job. There's not much for me to share. What I will share is that any individual that has an active 4D case and paternity has been established, they are able to take advantage of our services. So that means that an individual who has paternity established but has not yet had a support order established, but they recognize that they're going to need some assistance in increasing their employability, they are eligible to be referred to us at that point in their case. Also, we also work with individuals as a pre-contempt resource, meaning if your order has been established and you find that you're unable to maintain your bills as well as your child support obligation, you can request that your case agent refer you to our program at that time to assist you with your barriers to employment or to increase your employability. And then, of course, if enforcement actions take place, such as driver's license suspension, the Georgia Fatherhood Program is here to support.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We appreciate that. Ms. Annabelle, tell us a little bit as to how a non-custodial parent would enroll in access and visitation. What's the process? What's their steps?
Yes, to be enrolled or referred to the access and visitation program, the fatherhood agent can send off the referral. They can talk to the case manager at the local office. They can send off the referral, and also the PAC agent. Another feature that we have under the childsupport.georgia.gov website, we have a link that the non-custodial parents or the custodial parent can do the self-referral. They can go and click on that link, complete the referral, we receive the information, and we will contact the NCP or the CP that is interested to receive the services. And we go through the process of an intake and assessment, see what the necessities are and what type of services they need. But this is let me add that this is a completely free of charge service. And the only thing that you need to have is an open case under the Division of Child Support Services and not have a domestic violence active in our system.
Okay, all right. In our orientations, in our initial accountability sessions with our customers, many of them, Ms. Annabelle, ask us about legitimation. And we know that legitimation is a legal process and we don't really get involved with legalities. But tell us a little bit about how access and visitation would assist a non-custodial parent, one of our customers, with the legitimation process.
Yes, as you say, legitimation is a legal process where the father seeks to establish the parental rights and address custody and visitation. Our vendors can provide some information or point out resources to help the never married parents trying to start the legal process of legitimation. However, please keep in mind that our vendors are not going to provide any legal advice or filing any documents in court, but they can help you to navigate through the process of legitimation that is very important and completely different of some people get confused because they sign the birth certificate, they think that they have the child legitimate, but it's not. It's a completely different process.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. Another question that has been posed by our viewers is, do we have vendors for Middle Georgia areas? I'm thinking that they're asking if we have the Georgia Fatherhood Program services in the Middle Georgia area. And I would say yes. Within a 45-mile radius of every citizen in Georgia, the Georgia Fatherhood Program is accessible to them. But I would like for Ms. Kiska, if she would, just kind of to elaborate about the ways that our fatherhood program has expanded our services. Matter of fact, we have expanded in a variety of different areas and ways to ensure that our customers are served most effectively. So Ms. Kiska, I don't want to put you on the spot, but would you talk about some of the services that we provide through our program?
Thank you, John, for putting me on the spot. So The simple answer to that question is, John is correct. It used to be that we had a fatherhood agent in within a 45-mile radius of any county. But since we have been able to expand our program and increase our staff size by 50% over the last 2 years, we now have fatherhood agents in anywhere from 25 to 35-mile radius. So we are continuing to grow our program in various ways through various partnerships to make sure that we're providing a holistic approach to our customer, to include emotional wellness training, the soft skills training that was mentioned earlier, as well as various different resources that we are supporting customers after they successfully complete. Because sometimes our customers need assistance after they complete, meaning we provide aftercare services where we maintain communication not only with the customer, but also with the employer to make sure that that relationship is solid and everyone is happy. And if not, we want to make sure that we provide a resource to keep that relationship together or pivot if that's necessary. So those are just kind of two of the things. We also are partnering with the Technical College System of Georgia, which is our biggest partnership that allows us to provide training resources to help individuals increase their employability at no cost to them. That's something that we're very proud of, is that we provide short-term training, any training that is 6 months or less, to our customers to help them increase their employability at no cost to them. So those are just a few of the great things that are going on within the Georgia Fatherhood Program as we continue to expand and grow.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. The expansion of our program is doing a variety of wonderful things in smaller communities throughout the state. That is making a difference in individual lives as well as in family lives. So we want to thank everyone who has assisted us in expanding the Georgia Fatherhood Program, making it more beneficial and successful to our customers. And Ms. Kathleen, I'm going to throw this question to you. It has come from our viewers, and you elaborate so well. I'll just allow you the privilege to expound on the question when I ask it. Someone has asked, can you provide, talking about we, DCSS, can DCSS provide affordable lawyers to help with upcoming DUI cases to get their license back?
Short answer, no.
Right. I
We
figured
don't.
that it wouldn't be expounded upon. Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't get involved in any type of private criminal actions. We can't even provide legal referrals for child support attorneys. So short answer, no.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. I didn't want to skip over it. I knew that it wouldn't be a long, lengthy answer, but someone was interested in it, so we wanted to yield and give answer to the question. Another question that has come in, and this one will go to Brandy, Miss Brandy and Miss Tawana, and the question is this: do you assist, talking about our fatherhood program, with work from home employment? And Ms. Brandy, we'll kind of begin with you to see if there's any training with call centers, contact centers, etc., that you would train our participants to be able to perform from home.
Okay, so yes, we actually have a contact center specialist training program. I can just read a little bit about it. It's 8 weeks. It's a total of 280 hours. So it's entry-level positions, customer service rep, call center, bank teller, retail store associate. It does list like a future career path on here, team leader, trainer, call center, manager, wholesale, manufacturing sales rep, patient rep, which, as you know, those can be done at home. And there are a lot of those now that are at home, especially since COVID. Let me look at the locations where that is offered. So give me just a second, because like I said, they do vary depending on the center. So Carterville is actually one, retail customer service. Cornelia, Georgia. Decatur, Georgia. Old National. Oakwood. Pleasant Hill. Smyrna. And Stockbridge, and also Woodstock. So for our panel, if any of you would like this information, I can get this to you guys so you can have on hand for your participants with this information.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Tawana, any elaboration that you want to give there in reference to the service delivery area that you cover with the question?
What I would say is pretty much what Brandy, I would just elaborate on that. What we do is we utilize the vendors in our area. So that's how we would do it. We would provide participants with jobs because a lot of those jobs announcements that we get, it may have, some of them may have vendor jobs that, work from home. So that's how we would better assist the participant. They'll tell the agent what they're looking for. Some of the agents, they are really close with a relationship with the vendors, and they know, this job is available, and they'd share that information with that particular participant. But we would definitely lean on our vendors to provide that information so that we could share it with the participants in the program.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you another question, and I will get you, Ms. Tawana, and you, Ms. Kathleen, involved in this question. And the question is this: is the program, the Georgia Fatherhood Program, a mandatory court-ordered program or requirement, or is it a voluntary requirement for participants enrolled in our program? So I'll start with you, Ms. Tawana, and then I will go to you, Ms. Kathleen.
It is a voluntary program. However, it can be court ordered. So that would be, if the NCP is in court, but it's, it really is a voluntary until the court steps in.
Okay. All right. Ms. Kathleen, from the local office perspective and as manager, share with us your perspective there as to how you would work in conjunction to that question.
I agree with Tawana. It is a voluntary program. However, I have seen several instances where a judge has ordered a customer to participate in the fatherhood program. Kind of a tough love type situation with, as I said, many cases where perhaps someone doesn't want to help themselves as much as the judge wants them to help themselves, and they have been court ordered. I think I can speak for the fatherhood program. We don't treat those participants any different than we would someone that voluntarily came in to the program. And hopefully they would see it as a great opportunity to get some assistance, even though they were voluntold by the judge.
Mm-hmm. Right. And sometimes in life, being voluntold is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
There have been many participants in the Georgia Fatherhood Program who have been voluntold, and they discovered the job of a lifetime that made a tremendous difference in their individual circumstances as well as in their family circumstances. So that's a good analogy. Very, very much appreciated. Ms. Kiska, I want to kind of come back to you because someone has asked a question for us to kind of explain just a little bit. Please explain to the audience that this program is within the 35-mile radius of every citizen in Georgia, even though we are communicating primarily tonight with the Carterville area. Just kind of expound, if you would, please, ma'am, on how our program does extend way beyond the Carterville area and does encompass individuals within a 35-mile radius. Would you just kind of elaborate on that just a little bit, please?
Well, thank you, John. I will do my best to do so. We actually just explained to everyone, and we provide that information about a 25 to 35-mile radius because we want you all to know how short the reach is to access the Georgia Fatherhood Program. In general, we currently have local offices in every county or that services various counties where there is a fatherhood agent that is housed in those offices, as well as our partnership with the Technical College System of Georgia. The Technical College System of Georgia has 22 campuses plus their remote campuses. And we are now on not only in the local DCSS offices, but we're also in 14 of the 22 TCSG campuses. And we're working to add the remaining campuses to that by the end of this fiscal year. So we may be in a shorter range of distance from you based upon where you live, where your local office is located, or where your Technical College System of Georgia campus is located. But in any rate, if you can't reach us in person, we are always available to you virtual. We have 100% virtual orientation meetings, accountability session meetings, and other resources that we can provide to you virtually as well. So getting to us is not a problem, and we are ready to help when you do.
See, that's the reason I asked you that question. I could have not expounded upon that any better. Job well done. I appreciate that. Someone else has asked, what has been the biggest challenge in this program? Now, I want you, Ms. Kiska, if you would, to elaborate on that from a manager's perspective, and then I will let Ms. Tawana elaborate as well from a supervisor's level as she looks at day-to-day involvement with cases and individuals. But we'll start with you, Ms. Kiska.
Thank you, John. And that is an exceptional question. And I'm so glad to be able to answer that and get this information out to all of the citizens that have connected to this meeting. Our greatest challenge is community trust. Making sure that people are comfortable enough to engage DCSS and engage us to help them to overcome their barriers to employment and lifelong stability. We can only help you and we can only support you when you trust us enough to engage so that we can provide you with the information and the resources necessary for you to navigate with confidence. We want you to trust us. We want you to communicate with us. We want you to engage with us. We are here to help. We are here to serve. The Division of Child Support Services has been working hard over the last few years to transition from a mindset of enforcement to services. So the only thing that you need to do is reach out to us, and we are here to help and support.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Tawana, anything you want to elaborate on there?
I couldn't have said it any better. Kiska has said everything. It is the community trust. And I think that has been a battle, but community trust, and it's something that we are working hard. And I think we're doing a great job in gaining the community trust. So I have nothing else to say about that.
Okay, so that is a big challenge that we are overcoming each and every day that we show up for work and involve ourselves in individual lives with communication, contact, service, et cetera, et cetera. So I do appreciate that. Someone has asked, what are the aftercare services and how are they offered to individuals who complete the fatherhood program? So, Mr. Tawana, I'm going to ask you if you would please to expound on that briefly for us so that we can understand about the aftercare services for a fatherhood participant.
Okay, the aftercare, it is to assist a non-custodial parent once he has or she has successfully completed the fatherhood program. The agent is going to, the aftercare agent is going to monitor and track the participant to ensure that, you know, employment is still going on. If there are any obstacles or battles or something that, you know, needs a little more assistance, you know, that aftercare agent is there to assist. They're going to maintain contact with that non-custodial parent, and they're going to, you know, have that number to reach out So aftercare is just like it says, aftercare. After you've completed one phase, we're there to make sure that, you know, it just doesn't cut off, that we're still monitoring, watching, and making sure everything is successful, because we want our participants to be successful, not just during that process of the fatherhood, but after they've completed it. So that's what our aftercare is for.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. One of the best things that I can say about the Georgia Fatherhood Program is this: we never turn loose. We always want to be there to assist individuals in the best capacity as possible. We want to be there to be a lifesaver when needed, and I think the Fatherhood Program has done that in a variety of different areas. Well, let me say this: it seems that all good things move too fast. And this conversation has been a very, very good conversation. We have had some outstanding questions that have been asked and have been answered. If you have questions that have not been answered, please feel free to contact your local child support office and or your local fatherhood agent, and we will continue to answer those questions as we possibly can to ensure that everybody is served effectively and that their interest and their questions has been answered. But as all good things, that it does come to an end. So we want to thank everyone for joining us tonight with our fatherhood conversation in Carterville. We thank you for participating. We thank you for the questions. We thank you for your interest in the Georgia Fatherhood Program. And we do hope that we've been a part of educating you and equipping you with valuable knowledge. Now, I would like to yield the floor to Ms. Kiska and allow her to close us out with any comments that she would like to share with us as the fatherhood manager. Ms. Kiska?
It's over already? I am so disappointed. We have so many things, so many other things that we wanted to share with you all, but unfortunately time got away from us. Before I get into my closing statement, I just want to add a couple of things. We want you all to remember that there are various resources to help individuals who are struggling to maintain their child support obligation. We have review and modification. I don't think we touched on that. We have state debt reduction. That's another resource. Of course, we have the Georgia Fatherhood Program, which is a pre-contempt tool to make sure that individuals are working to overcome those barriers before they even have a contempt complaint filed and have to show up in court. In the event, unfortunately, that they do show up in court, we also have our Parental Accountability Court program that we have that can provide support to individuals who may have challenges with maintaining their child support after a contempt. And both of these outreach programs, one of the greatest perks and benefits of these programs is that individuals who are enrolled in these programs are protected from enforcement actions while they are working consistently to overcome their barriers. That does not excuse them from paying that child support. It just gives them an opportunity to get relief from the enforcement tools that DCSS utilizes in order to allow them to overcome their barriers to employment. So outreach is a part of almost every aspect of the DCSS work that we do. And so we want to make sure that you all are aware of that and that there are various resources to help you to overcome your barriers to employment. So I'm just going to jump into our closing statement and say, thank you, John, so much for being a great host. We thank the Omega Psi Phi community partners for supporting us by hosting this event and providing information. The Georgia Fatherhood Program functions under a strong community collaborative approach. We could not be successful without the established partnerships that we have statewide. Whether the need is education through our Technical College System of Georgia partnership, whether the need is access to your child through our partnership with the Access and Visitation Program that is a DHS a partner, whether you need emotional wellness training, we are partnering with the Fathers Incorporated for that. Or if you just need assistance in navigating through DCSS processes, the Georgia Fatherhood Program can meet each participant where they are and support them to overcome their barriers to employment and lifelong stability. This evening, we've discussed quite a few things and a few things we missed because, again, time flies when you're having fun. We wanted to talk about, as a reminder, paternity establishment is an imperative responsibility of the Division of Child Support Services. With that being said, if you have a child support case and paternity has not yet been established for your child, you may download the DCSS mobile app to schedule an appointment to chat and learn more about opportunity process. We will add that information to the chat. Lastly, this meeting is recorded and will be available on the DHS Facebook page for access later on. We encourage you to take the advantage of this information to assist you with your progression towards self-sufficiency. Should you have any additional questions, please contact us at fatherhoodinquiry@dhs.ga.gov, or you may call us at our customer contact center at 844-694-2347. Thank you all so much for your time, and we look forward to, and we are excited to serve you.